Okay, hello and welcome now to lecture 26. And let's see what we can do with the roof in this lecture. Let's see if we can put a roof on this. So make sure that first floor is selected so that the roof drops into this group. And let's press Shift A and Mesh and Plane. Press 1 on the keyboard to get the orthographic view of the front, and then let's bring this up until it's a little bit above the roof for now. We can always lower it down when we're ready. Let's press 7 to get the orthographic view of the top. Grab this plane that we've just made and bring it all over to the center. And now let's press S and scale it up. Let's go into wireframe. And let's scale it up a little bit more. And let's do the rest with edit mode. So let's tap into edit mode and press 1 so we can select edges. We'll grab these edges first and bring them past the edge of the walls to get a roof overhang. And this is too much here, so we'll grab this one and we'll bring this back a little bit like this. And I'll grab this one and this one now, and I'll deselect this one and I'll bring this forward as well to create a roof overhang. And there we go, that's cool. Grab this one here now and this one and bring this one forward until it's level with the inside face of the bathroom wall. Something like that, that's cool. Let's press 2 so we can select edges now. Grab this edge like this and let's press Ctrl R and roll the mouse wheel once to get 2 loops and then bring them back until they're about there like that. Now just grab this one on its own and bring this one further back until it's just in front of this bathroom wall here by what would be, I think in the real world, about 15 centimeters. That's what I want just there. Okay, once we've done that, let's tap out of edit mode and let's go back to solid mode for a moment and see what we've built. And I think the next thing to do is to make a copy of this. So I'm going to press Shift E and X and bring a copy over now to the opposite side like this. Once we've done that, I'll press 7 and I'll go back into wireframe mode and I'll tap into edit mode with this one. Let's press 1 so we can get some vertices selected. I'll grab these vertices here and take it back until we have an overhang on the roof. Something like that. And these two will still be parallel. This back one will still be parallel. So let's just grab these ones now and just pull them forward a little bit like this. Okay, let's go back into solid mode for a moment and let's tap out of edit mode and let's fix the scales on these. So I'll press Ctrl A and apply rotation and scale. And I'll check the scale on this one, and this one's out. So Ctrl A and apply rotation and scale. Did I fix the scale on this one? I did, it's all good. Okay, so let's grab both these items together now. And there they are, plane and plane 01. And let's press Ctrl J and make them one thing. I think we should name this now. So let's double click on it and just call it the roof. That'll be fine. And click enter. And my caps were on. Sorry folks. Let me try that again. Problem solved. That didn't happen. That's just between us. Okay, so now that we've done that, let's tap back into edit mode for a moment and let's press 3 so we can select faces. Press A so we can select all. And now let's extrude in the Z. So let's press E and Z and take this up. And let's take a bit of time now to establish. I'm not sure that was actually in the Z. I'm going to press Ctrl Z to go back on that move, and I'm just going to press that again. So E, and just bring that up in the Z axis. That's better. Hopefully you didn't do that what I did then. But if you did, just press Ctrl Z and redo the move. Am I happy with that thickness of roof? Do I want a little bit more? I think I'll go a tiny bit more. I think that's about right. Okay, so with that done now, want to select this face here, hold shift and grab this face here, and then right click and go ahead and bridge those faces. And there we go, that's cool. Let's tap out of edit mode now for a moment, and let's grab this, hit the / key on the numpad to isolate the object, and then tap back into edit mode. Let's press 2 so we can select edges and grab this edge, and this edge, this edge, and this edge, and then right click and dissolve those edges. There we go, that's cool. Let's see if we can dissolve these ones. I'm not sure if we can or we can't. Let's just try. And yeah, that'll let us, that's good. And let's do the same here. And right click and dissolve those edges. And then these ones as well. Right click and dissolve edges. Alright, so now what? I think the next thing I need to do is work on the underside or the inside face. So I'll press Ctrl 7 to get us the view of the underside of this. And I'm going to press 3 so we can select faces, and I'll grab this face like this, and I'll press I and inset until I get something like that. And now I'll press I and I'll inset again until I get something like that. So I've got 2 sets of insets on those. Once I've done that, I'm going to select that complete outer set. So I'll grab this one, and now I'll hold down Control, and I'll come over here. Oops, that didn't work. Let's try that again. Sometimes it doesn't want to work. Okay. Let's press Control and just grab these, going all the way around. We'll have this one and this one. Just grab this complete outer set, and there we go. And I'll roll this over so I can see it from maybe this point. And now I'll press E and Z and take this up to something like this. And now I'm going to dissolve orthogonal edges. And there we go, that's good. Yeah, that's what I wanted. Okay, so let's repeat that process now. Let's grab these faces. And once we've selected all of those, let's get a sort of a zoom in on this as well. And now let's press E and just bring a copy of this, or just bring this face down just a little bit like that. And that's cool, that's the effect I'm after. And this is looking good. So I think the next thing I want to do is tap out of edit mode on this. Let's check the scale, and the scale's still good. And let's see if we can create a bevel on this. So I'll zoom on this corner here. And now that we're zoomed in, let's go ahead and add modifier and generate and bevel. And let's see what we've got. And let's increase the segments to around about 3 segments, and maybe even 4. And let's zoom in a little bit and see what it looks like. And I think that's looking good. I'll go ahead and apply that bevel. And let's do a shade auto smooth on this. And there we go. There's our roof all done. So let's go ahead and bring everything back now. So I'll hit the / key on the numpad. And let's press 1 to get us that view from the front. And let's go ahead and bring this roof down now until it's in the right position. And there we go, so there's our roof in position. I think that's looking good. So in the next lecture, let's see if we can tackle this handrail which goes around the edge of the veranda. Okay, thanks very much, and I'll see you in the next lecture. Bye bye for now. Hello and welcome now to lecture 27, and I just brought everything back for a moment just to see how we're doing, and I think it's looking really good. We're making really fast progress with this, so yeah, that's good to see. So for now, let's hide our ground floor. We don't need that again. And actually we don't need much for a moment, because what we're going to do now, sorry, is we're going to do the handrails around this balcony. I should have said that rather than just starting. So let's grab the floor, and then let's grab the walls, and let's isolate those. I think that's all we need for a moment. And with that done, I think the next thing we could do is just click on the veranda file here, and let's make a sub box. And there it is there. What's it called? It's veranda 3. Let's double click on it, and let's rename that handrails. Let's rename it handrails. That will be good. There we go. Okay, now we've done that, let's bring in a cube. So let's press Shift A, Mesh and Cube. Let's press 7, and let's bring this forward. And now straight away, let's go ahead and scale this down. So I'll hit S and scale this down a lot to something like this. Maybe bring it forward. Now we've done that, let's press 1 on the numpad to get us the orthographic view of the front, and let's go ahead and bring this up. Now let's scale it up in the Z, so we'll press S and Z and start bringing this up. So S and Z again, and we'll just look at the height of our post. What we could do is we could bring back our first floor reference images to see what the height of that is. Where is that? Front elevation plan, there it is. Let's bring that back. We're going to have to bring everything back into view, so let's hit the / key, and we'll press 1 again. And we need to go into wireframe, so I'll press Z and go into wireframe. And let's see what the height of those posts were. And it's a little bit high. I'm going to tap into edit mode with those. And I'm going to press 1 so I can select vertices. Just grab these vertices and bring these up like this. That's cool. Now I'm going to tap out of edit mode with those, and I'm going to press S for scale. But I don't want to scale it down in the height now. So I'm going to press Shift Z to eliminate the Z axis scaling. And now I'm just going to scale it down in just the X and the Y. And then that's kind of similar, looking at it, to the posts we've got here. Okay, now we've done that, I can go ahead and hide our front elevation plan again. We don't need that. And let's go back to solid mode. And we've got a post like that. And there it is. Let's see if we can find it. It is in the handrail file. So we could rename this, what should we name this? We'll call it posts. Whoops. And click enter. There we go. And I'll press 7, and I'm going to bring this over until it's on the height to this side like this. Bring it close to the edge this way, and bring it forward a bit this way as well. And that's cool. Now that we've done that, let's just grab just the walls again, and the post of course, and the floor, and let's isolate. So we've just got those items. Alright, so the next thing I want to do is put some loops in this, I think. So let's do that next. So let's have a look at it. The scale's out, so let's fix that. So we'll press Ctrl A and apply rotation and scale. And now let's go ahead and tap into edit mode. Press 2 so we can select just edges. Grab an edge like this and press Ctrl R and go ahead and add 4 loops to this. There we go. Maybe bring those loops up to something like this. And now hold Alt and select this loop and bring this one up to about here like this. Deselect that, hold Alt and grab this one, hold Shift and Alt and grab this one, and now bring these down. Deselect that, and now hold Alt and grab this one, and maybe bring this one down as well. until it looks about the same spacing as the one above, which I would say is something like that. Once we've done that, grab this top loop here now, or this top edge, and press Ctrl R. Put 2 edges on that, like this. And now scale that down in the Y, so S and Y, and just reduce the width between those loops to maybe something like that. And we can do the same this way now. So we'll grab this edge here and press Ctrl R. And we'll scroll the mouse wheel once to get 2 loops on there, and now we'll scale it down in the X-axis. And there we go. Alright, so now we've done that, we can tap out of edit mode for a moment. And the next thing to do is apply an array modifier to these. So, let's grab it. And check this, the scales are still good, of course. Add modifier, generate, and array. And it's arraying in the right direction, it's arraying in the X, and we can see that it's just duplicate that number to 2. So let's increase that count, I think to 4. I think I want 4 posts across this front edge, and then let's increase this X factor. I've actually got 5, so I'm going to reduce that to 4, there we go. And I'll carry on just sliding this across. And I just need to scroll around to see where that's going. And carry on scrolling that. Whoops. And what's that? That's 19.1. Let's take off that 1 so it's just 19 and see what that looks like. And I'll go 19 maybe 0.05, enter, see what that looks like. And maybe make that a 0.55, enter. And I think that's good. I think that's exactly what I want. Okay, so with that now done, let's go ahead and apply that modifier. And there we go. Okay, so let's tap into edit mode again with these. And I think the next thing I need to do is to select faces. So I'll press 3. And I'm going to grab this face here, hold shift and grab this one, and come on over to this side here, and I'll grab this one, hold shift and grab this one. There we go. So we got those 4 tabs like that. And with those selected, I'm going to press E and Y, and I'm going to press 0.07, enter. And there we go. So that's brought that out 7 centimeters. Okay, so now that I've done that, I'm going to grab this one, hold shift and grab this one. And I'm going to grab this one. Whoops, not that one. I'm going to deselect that one. This one here, and then this one. And of course this one here, and this one. And with those selected, I'm going to press E and X, bring those out by 0.07, enter. Okay, now of course we need to go in the opposite direction, so I'll grab these ones here. So this one here, and this one here, this one here, this one, and this one. Is there any more, or is that it? I think that's it. So with those selected, and I'm going to press E and X, bring these out by 0.07, and then press minus, enter. There we go. Okay, so those are looking good. So the next thing I need to do, I think, is apply a bevel to these. So I'll tap out of edit mode, and let's zoom in on these so we can see what we get. Okay, the next thing I want to do to these is, let's just check the scale, and that's good. So let's add modifier and generate and bevel. And not much is happening, so there must be an issue with the geometry here for bevels, but I'm just going to check what this looks like. So I'm going to go to geometry here, and I'm going to turn off clamp overlay, and obviously that's just done crazy things. Let's add 2 zeros to the right of the decimal point and see what we get. I don't see much wrong with these bevels really. That's looking okay, and That's looking fine. I think I'm going to go ahead and run with this. I want to increase that though if I can, so I'm going to turn that 1 there into maybe a 4, see what that looks like, and increase my segments to maybe a 4 as well. There we go. And see if I've got any issues with these bevels. Is there any strange looking geometry which just doesn't work at all? I don't see any real issues. Have a look at the corner, maybe that's got some problems. And it all looks good to me. I could try reducing this to 3. And I think I'm going to go ahead and accept that. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that bevel modifier. I'm going to go ahead and do a shade auto smooth on these. And there we go. They're done. And they look good. Okay, so in the next lecture, what we'll do is we'll create our glass panels between these posts. And then we'll just make some copies of these outside posts here and just put them here so that we have got something for the glass to end to at this point. Okay, thanks very much, and I'll see you in the next lecture. Bye bye for now. Hello and welcome now to lecture, what are we on? We're on lecture 28. And in this lecture, let's carry on with our glass railing, or a hand railing, I'm sorry, on the veranda just here. So let's grab our posts. Let's grab our floor and our walls, and let's hit the / key on the numpad to isolate those. And the next thing I need to do is I need to put some posts sort of ending here in the corner so that we've got some glass safety rails here too. So let's grab the actual handrails and let's tap into edit mode. And let's make sure we have face selection. I'll grab any face on there and I'll hold down Control and hold down plus until we've selected all faces. Once I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and spin around on this. And I'm going to press Shift D and Y. Make a copy and bring it out until it's kind of level with the front edge of this column like that. Okay, once I've done that, I'm actually going to rotate this on the Z axis. So I'm going to press RZ 9 0 and I'm going to hit the minus key because it's rotated the wrong way. Enter. And there we go. That's done. Okay, I'm going to do the same now on this opposite side over here. So I'll grab this one here. So I'll just grab the top edge here, or any edge really, it doesn't matter, and hold down Control and plus and just select all of it. And we'll press Shift D and Y and bring a copy out like this. Let's rotate that. So we'll press RZ 9 0 enter. And now bring it back as well until it's kind of level with this column. Bring it back some more. Incidentally, if you ever find that with Blender that it feels like it's all running very slow like this now and nothing doesn't seem to be working fast and it's like the whole thing's running slow, just press Shift B and then snap a selection window around what you want. So I'm just going to hold down the left mouse button and just grab a window over that post and it'll recenter and everything will be responsive again. Okay, so now that we've done that and we're happy, let's just bring this over a tiny bit more to about there like that, and that's fine. Alright, with that done now, I'm going to grab this face here like this and I'm going to hold down Control and press plus until I've selected all the faces within that square and the base. So within that framework there, I've got all those faces. Then I'll press X and I'll delete those faces. Let's do the same down here on this base one here because we don't need these little tabs here. So I'll grab this one, hold down Control and press plus until we've got all those faces like that. Press X and delete those faces. Now I'll select edges by pressing 2. I'll grab this one, hold Shift and I'll grab, whoops, I didn't want that one. I'll grab this one, hold Shift and grab this one, this one and this one. And now I'll just tap F and that will fill that hole for me. Let's do the same up here. So I'll grab this one, this one, this one, and this one, and I'll just tap F. There we go. Let's work on the other side now. So let's zoom in on this. There we go. And it's starting to go slow like what I was talking about, but I can get away with it here. So I'm going to press 3 so I can select faces. Hold down Control, press plus until we've selected all those faces. And I'll press X and I'll delete faces. Once you've done that, let's grab those edges, that one there, hold Shift and grab this one, and this one, and type F. There we go. Let's do the bottom one now. So I'll press 3, grab that face, hold down Control and press plus until we've selected all those edges, faces. Press X and delete faces. Press 2, and then grab this face, this edge, this edge, this edge. Wrong one. Going too fast. This one, this one, this one, and this one. And now type F. And there we go. That's the posts. Absolutely done. Let's tap out of edit mode on those. And there we go. Okay, so the next thing I need to do is start looking at glass and putting glass panels in these. So we can do that. Let's make sure that we have the handrail file here selected. And now let's press Shift A and Mesh and Plane. Let's bring that plane up on the Z axis and let's rotate that now on the X axis. So RX 90, enter. And let's go ahead and bring that forward until it sits kind of where we want it. It doesn't matter exactly right now. And now let's press 1 on the numpad to get us the orthographic view. And let's go ahead and position this. Something like, I'm going to put it about there like that. I think that works. Once I've got it, I'm going to tap into edit mode and press 1 for vertices selection. Grab these top vertices here and I'll bring them down till they're kind of flush with the top of the posts. I'll grab these 2 vertices here now and I'll bring those out a little bit, and I'll do the same here and I'll bring those out an equal amount. There we go. So that's the size of our glass panel. That's done. Let's press 3 so we can select faces. And let's grab this face here and we'll press E and Y and just bring this out to get an extrusion. And there we go. That's done. Okay, we'll tap out of edit mode with that. And we'll actually make sure that we're happy with the position of that. I am. I think that's fine. So let's look at the scale, and the rotation's out. So I'll press Control A and apply rotation scale. Once we've done that, let's go ahead and make a bevel on this. So let's add modifier, and generate, and bevel. And there we go. So let's put 2 zeros to the right of the decimal point and see what we get. And let's make that 1 a 3 and see how that looks. And let's increase our segments to maybe a 4, and that looks good to me. Okay, I'll go ahead and apply that, and I'll do a shade auto smooth as well. Alright, so there's our glass panel. Let's press 1 so we get the orthographic view. That's 1 on the numpad. And now let's press Shift E and X and bring a copy across to here. And now let's do the same for the other side. So I'll press Shift D and X and bring a copy across to here. There we go. And now what I'll do is I'll press 7 and I'll press Shift D and Y and bring a copy out like this. And now I'll rotate it on the Z, so I'll press R and Z and 90, enter. We'll take this over. And we'll take this back in the Y until it feels like it's in the right position. Pull it back slightly until we just center it on the post. Maybe take it this way a tiny bit. And that looks good. And I'll tap into edit mode with this. And I'll press Z and go into wireframe, I'm sorry. And I'll get these vertices here and I'll pull these back. Sorry, I had a little brain freeze for a minute then. Just absolute brain freeze. Nothing was going on upstairs. But I'm okay again now. I'm back with this. Okay, so we're done there. So I'll press Z again. I'll go back to solid. There we go. And I'll tap out of edit mode. And the next thing I want to do is just make a copy and bring it over this side. So I'll press Shift D and X and bring a copy over to here now. And I'll pull this over a little bit. And I'll just need to bring this column over a little bit for some reason, but that's okay, we can do that. So I'll tap out of this one now, and I'll grab the posts, and I'll tap into edit mode with those. I'll grab a face on this one, and hold down Control and press plus till it's all selected. Zoom in a little, and I just reposition this post until it's correct for us. There we go, that's cool. Let's tap out of edit mode with this. And it does look like this glass here needs adjusting, so we'll tap into edit mode with this one, and maybe we just go into wireframe again. And now let's just press 1 so we can select vertices, and we'll just grab these vertices here, and now we'll pull this back until it's in the correct position. There we go, that's cool. Does that mean the other one, the other side, is in the wrong position? No, that one's okay. Oh, I think that that post is slightly further back than this one. That's the issue that we had. So what I could do actually is just correct my problem there. So I'll tap out of edit mode, and I'll grab this one now, and I'll tap into edit mode with that, and I'll press 3, grab that face in the middle, hold down Control and press plus, and I'll just zoom out a little bit so I can get a reference for the other side, and maybe just pull this back just a tiny bit. And that looks about right. We'll tap out of edit mode with this one, grab the pane again, and now let's just grab the vertices on this, and now just pull this over. And there we go, that's correct now. Okay, so let's go back to solid mode and see what we've done. And we can tap out of edit mode, and it's all there now, we're happy. And the next thing we should do is maybe just join all of these together. So there's the planes, which are the glass, so let's grab them. And once we've got those all selected, let's press Ctrl J to join them into one, and let's call that glass. And there we go, that's done. We can actually compress our handrails now because the handrails are completed. Alright, let's hit the / key to bring everything back. And I'd say everything's looking really good now. So in the next lecture, what we're going to do is we're going to do this sort of roof structure which sits in the middle. It doesn't really have a lot of purpose, maybe adding a little bit of shade during the day, but the main reason that I've put it in there is to actually create some nice dynamic shadows in this area, just to put some nice shadowing detail around. Okay, there's one more thing that I want to do, which is not really anything to do with modelling. What I want to do is create a new save. So we already have obviously one save. I've been saving as house 1, and sometimes it's nice to have a sequence of saves, so that if for any reason you decide that you want to change something, if you have a set of saves at different levels of progress through the job, you can always go back to a previous save. And another reason, if for any reason you absolutely lose a file, you haven't lost everything. You've just lost the progress that you had since the last save. Still not happy, but at least you haven't lost everything. That's something I've learned through professional modelling. My sort of day job is, do more than one type of save. So I'll do that here. I'll come to here, I'll press File, and I'll click Save As. And here, I'm just going to hit the plus sign and turn this to house 2, and there we go. Once you've done that, go ahead and press Save As. Okay, so I think that's it for this lecture, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye now. Hello and welcome now to lecture 29, and in this lecture let's have a go at doing this sort of roof structure in the middle. I'm not sure what you call it exactly, but let's see if we can do this next. So let's just click on the first floor file like this so it goes in the right place, and now let's just grab our roof and isolate it on its own. And now let's press Shift A and Mesh and Cube, and let's bring this cube up like this, and let's press 1 so we see it from the orthographic view, and let's just bring this up and kind of center it a bit. Alright, let's scale it down in the Z, so let's press S and Z and bring this down like this. And let's scale it down a bit more in the Z, S and Z. And maybe take it up a little bit. And there we go. I think that's about what I want. Let's scale this up in the X now, so let's press S and X. And put this in position like this. And let's have a look here what we've got. Maybe let's take this over in the X. So I'll press G and X and take it over to something like that. And now let's maybe tap into edit mode with it. And let's press Z and go into wireframe. Let's grab the vertices here. And let's take these over until it's kind of level with this face as well. And that's cool, that's what I want. Alright, let's go back into solid mode for a while. And let's tap out of edit mode and now take this back until it's sort of touching this bit here. And there we go, that's good. Now that we've done that, let's tap back into edit mode again and press 3 so we can select faces. Grab this face here and take this over. And let's get an angle on this so we can see what we're working with thickness wise, and carry on taking this back until it looks like that. And I think that's fine. Okay, let's tap out of edit mode with that. And let's look at this scale, and it's definitely not right, so let's press Ctrl A and apply rotation in the scale. Once we've done that, let's zoom into it a little bit so we can see what we're working with here. And let's add modifier, generate, and bevel. Okay, let's add 2 zeros to the right of the decimal point. And let's turn that 1 into a 3 and click enter. Let's increase our segments to 3, and there we go. I won't go ahead and apply that bevel modifier just yet. I'm going to leave that active. Let's just zoom in, see what it looks like. And I'm going to use the Shift B function to just grab it again, because my computer's Blender's kind of going a bit slow, so there we go. And just see what we've got. And yep, that's what I want. That's just right. Okay, so now that I've got that, the next thing I'm going to do is just make a duplicate of it. So I'll press Shift D and Y, bring a copy out like this. I'll maybe set the origin back to the geometry now. And I'll rotate it on the Z axis, so I'll press R, Z, 90, enter. I'm going to press 7 on the numpad to get us the orthographic view, and I'm going to go into wireframe, and I'll take this back until it's kind of touching that panel on the roof. That should be about there like that. And now let's go ahead and take that back. So I'll press G and Y and bring that back until it's flush with the other one we made. Whoops. Which is about there like that. Okay, so let's tap into edit mode with this one. And let's select vertices. Let's grab these vertices here now, and we'll go ahead and bring those forward until they're kind of flush with this front edge, which is about there like that. Okay. Let's go back into solid mode for a minute and just eye up what we're doing. And yep, that's looking good, that's what I want. Okay, I'll tap out of edit mode with this, and that's it. That board is now sitting on this, which in the UK building terms, this is called the fascia. But I'm sure all over the world you have different names for this, but in the UK this is the fascia. So let's make a copy of this and we'll chuck it to the other side. So let's press Shift D and X and bring this one over like this. And let's press 7 again. And we'll press Z and we'll go into wireframe and we'll pull this one over. Until it's flush with this fascia here. And there we go. So we've got those sort of framing boards in now, so that's a good start. Let's go back to solid mode. And I'll grab this one here now, and I'll make another copy of this. I'll press Shift D and Y, and I'll bring this over like this. There we go, that's cool. Alright, the next thing I'm going to do, I think, is let's set the origins of this to the geometry. And now let's rotate this slightly in the X. I'll press R and X and bring this over like this. There we go, that's cool. Make sure that here in the transforms that you're in global. That's quite important for this next move. And grab this piece here and press Shift D and Y and bring this copy over, and before you set it, just type 0.275, enter. Now with that done, I want to repeat that exactly. So to do that, I'm going to press Shift R, and that will Blender will just repeat my last command, and I'm going to keep doing that until we go right over to the other side, and maybe that'll work out. Let's see if that number will work out. It looks like it's going to, and yep, that works really nice for me. Okay, so there's kind of our roof in place. That's done. So what we could do now is maybe just grab that first one and move all the way down here in the outliner to cube 23, hold Shift and select. So we've got all those roof pieces selected, and let's go ahead and press Ctrl J to join those together. And where is it? Let's find it. There it is. And what shall we call this? We can call this, what, middle roof? Let's call it that. Middle roof. There we go. You can call it whatever you want. It's all good. But that's going to be my phrase for it. Now that we've done that, I think we're good now to go ahead and apply this bevel modifier. So we can apply this, and there we go. That's our sort of middle roof structure done. Okay, let's hit the / and bring everything back and see how that looks. And yeah, I'm pleased with that. So when we start applying some lighting to this, that should cast some nice sort of shadow details down into this middle veranda, and that's cool. Okay, thanks very much, and I'll see you in the next lecture. Bye bye for now. Hello, and welcome now to lecture 30. And in this lecture, let's have a go at putting like a trim board between the floor and the wall. In the UK, we call it a skirting, but I'm sure again there's different terms for it wherever you go. Okay, so let's first of all, let's hide the roof, and let's hide our middle roof. Let's hide that too, and we'll just close the ground floor for now. We'll hide that, and let's go ahead and make a start. So I think I'll click on bedroom 1 like this, and this is bedroom 1 actually, isn't it? We'll do this one first, and with that done, we'll press Shift A and mesh and cube. I'll bring that cube up in the Z axis, and I'll scale this down considerably, so I'll hit S and just bring this down, and I'll press 1 so we can see it in the orthographic view and I get an idea of the size of this. And I'll hit S and I'll just scale it down a little bit more, and I'd say that's about right in the z-axis. So let's look at it now on the y-axis, and let's scale it down the y, so S and Y, and bring this down until we get something like this. There we go, that's cool. Once we've done that, let's scale this up in the X, so we'll press S and X, and go ahead and scale this up to give us something like this. Let's fix the scale on it, so let's press Control A, and apply rotation and scale. And let's add a bevel modifier to this. And let's put our 2 zeros to the right of the decimal point. And let's increase that 1 to a 4. Let's see what that looks like. Increase our segments to 3. And there we go. I think that's right. Again, I'm not going to apply this bevel for now. I'm just going to leave it open. Now that we've done that, let's press 7. And let's go ahead and take this over to this room, and then take it until it's to the back wall. And yeah, that's where I want it. Let's find this. Yeah, it is in bedroom 1. There it is. Bedroom 1, and there it is, cube 1. So we could call this, well, you can call it whatever you want. I'm going to call it skirting board. And there we go. Now I'll press 1 so we can see this from the front, and I'll bring this down until we're at the ground level. I think for now I'm going to hide the window. We don't need that either. And let's bring this down until it's touching the floor, which is about there. Alright, maybe I'm going to tap into edit mode with this now, and I'll press Z and I'll go into wireframe. I'll press 7 to go into the orthographic, and I'll go ahead and take this back until it's into the wall, or just touching the wall maybe. There we go, something like that. Let's do the same with the other side. Let's grab this and take this over. And there we go, that's good. Alright, I'll tap out of edit mode with that, and I'll press Shift D and Y and bring that forward. Now I'll press R and rotate it 90, enter. I'll take this back like this. Maybe zoom in a little bit more so I can see what I'm doing, and go ahead and take that back the last little bit. And now I'll press G and Y and take it over some more. There we go, that's good. So at this end now, let's tap into edit mode, grab the vertices and take that all the way into the corner. Guess we don't know where the window is, so I guess I need to bring the window back. And let's carry on bringing this over now until it's kind of touching the window frame. There we go, something like that. Okay, so let's tap out of edit mode with that one, and I'll grab this one again now. And I'll go ahead again, press Shift D and Y, bring a copy forward, and I'll hit R and rotate it 90, enter. And now I'll go ahead and bring it over like this. Grab it and press G and Y and take it into position like this. I'll tap into edit mode with this one now. I'll grab the vertices and I'll take that back. Kind of need to find out where the edge of the room is, and it's there, so I'll bring that forward like this. Actually, I might bring that forward some more here. I think I have a slight change of plan. I'll bring that forward to that. I'll press 2 so I can grab some edges. I'll grab an edge there. I'll press Control R and I'll bring a loop in and bring that loop to there like that. And I'll hold Shift and grab the end here. And now bring the whole thing back until it's kind of level with the wall. I might go a little bit further back than that. Maybe something like this. And now we'll hold Alt, grab this one again now, and maybe just bring this forward. And yeah, I'd say that's about right. Maybe back a little bit. That's about right. Maybe grab this one now, bring this one forward a tiny bit. There we go. And now I'll press 3, and we can grab this face here, and I'll press E and X and take this back like this. And there we go, that's done. Let's tap out of edit mode with this now. And let's press Z and go back to solid and see how that looks. And yeah, that's looking fine. We could actually just maybe take this back to the wall a little bit more. So I'll press G and X and just touch that back into the wall a little bit more. And there we go, that's fine now. So I see a little issue there. We need to take that floor over a little bit more, so we'll need to deal with that sooner or later. Just taking that floor into that sort of reveal just there. In fact, we could deal with that now. Let's grab this floor, tap into edit mode, press 1 so we can select vertices, grab these vertices here, and these vertices here, and where's those other vertices? Can we see them? They must be there. Let's press Z actually, go into wireframe, make sure we've got all of them. There we go, those. And now let's just press E and X and just bring those forward until that's covered up that gap. There we go, that's good. Let's press Z and go back to solid mode. And let's tap out of edit mode with those. We have a color issue there, which I'm going to say is probably the normals have flipped on that one, but we'll figure that out later. We'll correct all the normals in one go. Okay, so I think that's it. We have got a little corner here, but it's so concealed by the door that I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, so now that's done, and we have our skirting done in there. We could actually just grab one piece first, and we could press Shift D and Y, and bring this over like this. And we could take it through to the other room. Now that we have that last piece of skirting, which is this one here, we could drag it into bedroom 2, here in the outliner. And there we go. Now we could grab these skirtings here. This one, and this one, and this one. And we could press Ctrl J and join them all into one. And there we go. Okay, so let's close bedroom 1 because that's the skirting finished in there. And let's go over to bedroom 2 and let's open our file here for this one. And there's our skirting board now, copied and in here. So let's put it to this back wall here. So I'll press 7. And I'll grab the skirting board and I'll just take it back like this. And let's take that over now to the door. So I'll grab it on the x-axis and run this through a leaf like this. Zoom in a little bit so we can take a look at it, and that's fine there. Let's press 7 again. And let's make sure it is actually against the wall, and I think it is. We could take it back a tiny bit more maybe. We need to just correct this here, so we'll tap into edit mode. And we'll grab all the vertices there and take it back like this until it's inside the wall. And there we go, that's fine. Okay, let's tap out of edit mode with this one. And let's go ahead and press Shift D and Y and bring another copy forward like this. And now let's rotate that on the Z axis, so we'll press RZ, 9, 0, enter. And let's press 7. And let's take this over until it's touching this wall here now. That's good. Okay, let's take it this way now. So we'll press G and Y and take the skirting back like this. There we go. And now let's go ahead and take this back to where it needs to be. So let's tap into edit mode and let's grab all the vertices here and let's take them back. And let's try and figure out where that should stop, and I would say about there, like that. And now I'll press 2. We can grab this edge here, I'll press Ctrl R and bring this loop over like this. Let's zoom in on this. Take it over a little bit more to something like that. And now we could press 3 so we could select faces. We could grab this face here and we could press E and X and take this over like this. And there we go. That's cool. Alright, let's tap out of edit mode with this one and let's see what that looks like. And that looks fine to me. So I'm just going to grab this last piece now. So I'll grab this one here and I'll press Shift D and Y and bring this over like this. Rotate it in the Z, so I'll press RZ, 9, 0, enter. And now let's go ahead and scale it down in the Y, so we'll press S and Y and just shorten this. And now we can press 7 and we can take this back into this little corner here. We could press Z, go into wireframe, we select the item and we can tap into edit mode and press 1 for vertice selection. Grab these here and bring this to the right length like that. And we'll do the same this side now. We'll just grab this here and take this into the window. Just like that. That's it. Alright, let's see what this looks like now. Tap out of edit mode and see what we've got. And there we go. That's done. That's our skirting's done in there. So what we could do now is go ahead and join these all together. Grab all 3 and press Ctrl J and join them into one. And there we go. That's our skirtings completed. Okay, so in the next lecture I think we're going to start work on our bathroom, because the bathroom is mostly clad in wooden boards, in cedar in this case. Okay, thanks very much and I'll see you in the next lecture. Bye bye for now.